Boom! What is up, YouTube? Back with part 2 of the looks maxing tier list. So if you haven't watched part 1, go back. We covered a lot of important topics. But today we are just going to be going over the rest. And if you don't ascend by the end of this video, then that's on you, because I'm going to be going over all of the secrets that I've distinguished over the year. Without further ado, let's get right into the rankings. We're going to start it off with a banger, and that is Accutane, or isotretinoin. So Accutane is going to go straight into S tier. So I know a lot of people are going to be worried about the side effects of, drying out your lips, drying out your skin. But the reason it's getting an S tier is because it's the only proven way that we have to actually get rid of acne. Like, if you look at people's transformations online, you notice a common trend that the people who actually went from having bad acne to good acne went on Accutane. And this is also a retinoid, which I think are more important than peptides like GHKCU. But if you have bad acne, stop coping and get Accutane. The side effects of you not having acne and living a better life are way better than any of the potential side effects that you can get from Accutane. Just don't have a baby on it and you're going to be fine. The next thing we're going to do is Latisse, or bimatoprost. And Latisse is going to go up here with oral minoxidil in B tier. So Latisse, or bimatoprost, is the main product that is in a lot of lash serums that people use. And so this is going to work by keeping your eyebrow in the growth phase. So when you apply it nightly, it's going to keep the eyebrow or the eyelash in the growth phase, and it's going to allow your eyelash and eyebrows to get longer. And this is going to make a bit of a difference to your looks. It's not going to be the craziest change, but you definitely will get noticeable difference from this. Now, the only reason it's in B tier is because there is some anecdotal claims, not too much necessarily correlated with just topical application, but when people will use this as eye drops for glaucoma, it is very rare, but some people will get iris darkening, which can be huge phalo to someone who has nice blue eyes. And you can have preorbital fat loss around your lower lid and your upper lid, which would also be a huge phalo. I've experimented with this. I haven't noticed any of that, and I have noticed substantial growth. And it's made a decent difference, but it hasn't been this game-changing difference that puts it in an instant S tier. But definitely a good way to ascend if you have bad lashes or bad eyebrows. Next up, we've got Lumify. So Lumify is just whitening eye drops, and this is going to be one of those things that you can do to increase your contrast pretty much instantly. So what you do is you just put the drops in, and it makes the whiteness of your eyes a lot whiter. And you may think, oh, your eyes aren't that red, but as soon as you put these in, you notice a really big difference, and it's an instant ascension. So for that, this is actually going to go into A tier, because it's actually one of those things that makes a meaningful difference with pretty much no effort, and there's no downsides. You don't want to be using it too often. Sort of just use it on nights out when you want to look really good, or if you have a date or a photo shoot coming out, because if you use it too much, you can start to rely on it and then get rebound without it. So next up, we got retinoids. Retinoids are going to be things like topical tretinoin, like tazarotene, like adapalene. And these are what I was mentioning earlier in part 1, and these are going to go into A tier. So the reason for this is they are probably the best treatment that we have for anti-aging right now. It's been proven to boost collagen in your skin, so it's gonna be very beneficial for anti-aging. It's going to help with acne, but it's not going to be as effective as something like isotretinoin or Accutane. So this is what I use. It's very effective with pretty much no side effects, and it's a bit more of a minor treatment for people with less severe acne. But it's definitely not going to just nuke your acne like Accutane will. So that's why it's in A tier. It's pretty much everyone should be taking it, unless you're on Accutane. But yeah, it's a A tier and sort of a staple in just anyone's routine. Next thing we have is the gym. And the gym, I'm going to put in A tier. And this could definitely be debated. It could be in S tier, it could be in F tier, it could be in B tier. But I'm going to put it in A tier. And the reason I'm going to do this is, this is lifting without performance enhancements, by the way. But the thing with lifting is, for a lot of people, it's going to really depend on your genetics. So someone could be really dialed in the gym, could do everything right, and just not get great results and not even stand out and dedicate a bunch of time to something where they don't even get significant results. And I'm not saying this to discourage people from going to the gym, because I think everyone should be going to the gym, whether you're natural or enhanced. But that is for purposes that aren't just about looks. And this tier list is purely about looks. But everyone should be going to the gym. It's going to improve your mental state, your quality of life, and you are going to get a physical benefit from it. You will look better when you go to the gym. It's going to help your body recomp, which is going to in turn help you get lean. You're going to have more muscle mass, which is appealing. And it's just overall going to be a great way to improve your looks. But there's no guarantee that you're going to look amazing, which is why I'm not going to put it in S tier. It's not something that you can do that's just going to immediately ascend you and make you into that top percentile. So for that reason, gym is going to be an A tier. Next on the list, we have getting a tan. And getting a tan is going to be, I'm going to put getting a tan in A tier as well. Because for a lot of people, it is definitely going to improve their looks, and it's something that you can do really quickly to improve your looks right away. But for some people, it's actually going to serve to detriment them. And it really depends on your phenotype. Some people are going to look, the majority of people are going to look better with a tan, but some people are actually going to look worse. So that's the reason I'm going to put in A tier. And you will look better, but it's not necessarily improving your looks a ton. It's just going to hide some of the blemishes, increase your coloring, but it's not really fixing any underlying issues. So that's why I'm going to put in A tier. It's one of the quickest things that you can do for your looks, but it's not necessarily going to turn you into a different person. Next up, we've got sunscreen. Sunscreen is going to go straight into S tier. Sunscreen is the number one thing you can do for anti-aging on your skin. And when we're talking about looks, a lot of what improving your looks is, or not necessarily improving your looks, but I guess looksmaxing you could say, is just going to be preventing the process of aging. And what sunscreen is going to do for you is it's going to block those harmful UV rays that cause skin aging and skin damage. So if you're wearing sunscreen, you're going to be able to look a lot younger into your 40s, 50s, and you're going to be able to maintain those looks and preserve them. So sunscreen is the best thing you can do to preserve your looks, and that's why it's going in S tier. You should be putting it on every morning. I need to be putting it on more. I forget a lot of days, but yeah, sunscreen is an immediate S tier. Next up on the list, we've got Mewing, and Mewing is going to go into C tier. So what Mewing is, if you don't know, is just putting your tongue to the roof of your mouth. It's proper tongue posture. Everyone should be doing it, but is it going to improve your looks? If you're in the developmental stages of your life and you were mouth breathing before, and you go from mouth breathing to nasal breathing with proper tongue posture, yes, it's going to help. It's going to promote more forward growth, and it's going to just allow you to develop further. But if you're done developing and you just start mewing, maybe you'll get a bit of suction on your thyroid bone, but it's not going to improve your looks, change your face once you're done developing. So for that reason, it's in C tier. It's something that everyone should be doing just because it's proper tongue posture, but it's not going to meaningfully improve your looks. If you are super recessed when you're older, the only really thing that's going to work is surgery. So don't cope with mewing and expect that it's going to fix all your problems. Next up, we've got fad diets, specifically things like the carnivore diet. And this is going to go straight into F tier. So these people who preach raw meat, saying that it's going to change their skin, change the way that they live, just ascend them, are just completely coping. They think that this is going to make them look better, going to change their face shape, increase their testosterone, when really all they're doing is becoming part of a cult that is just going to keep leading them to cope, keep leading them to do things like thumb pulling, and even serve to detriment them by getting nasty diseases and not eating carbs. Like, I used to be a big, not necessarily carnivore, but I would avoid carbs like they were the plague. And yes, you look more lean when you're cutting out carbs, but carbs are your body's number one fuel source, and you should not be going without carbs. You're not going to be able to recruit as much motor recruitment in the gym. You're going to have, your gym is going to be compromised. You're not going to look as full. You're not going to be as energized. It's stupid. But if the carnivore diet works for you, I guess you could do that. But fad diets in general, like eating raw meat, just these things that people say, oh, this diet is going to completely change the way you look, make you able to lose weight. If you're losing weight, it's because you're in a calorie deficit. It's not because of this insane diet that you're doing. Because if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. That's simple thermodynamics. It's not the diet that's necessarily doing that. So yeah, that's going to go into F tier just because it's kind of culty and you're kind of coping if you think that this is going to just improve your looks meaningfully. Next thing we got is icing your face. And icing your face is going to go into D tier. This is just in there with like the kind of copy soft maxes like castor oil and under eye cream, where they will have like a little bit of an effect, but nothing noticeable, nothing permanent. Some people say it helps them de-bloat, but like we already discussed why de-bloating isn't a super important method. So it can feel good for some people, but it's not going to really move the needle like a lot of other things. It's sort of just another thing to make you buy more stuff so you can buy those ice rollers. We've all fallen into those traps before. Yeah, not going to have a meaningful difference, so that's why it's going to go into D tier. Next on this list is going to be plastic surgery. In plastic surgery, again, I'm not recommending you do anything, but this is going to go into S tier. This is not medical advice. I'm not telling you to go get surgery. I haven't got surgery myself, but surgery is kind of after you've gotten lean, gotten a tan, done all the easy stuff, plastic surgery is kind of going to be the only thing that's going to move the needle further and actually improve and actually make you able to transform. By doing stupid facial exercises, it's not going to change your face. Plastic surgery is the only way that you can truly change your face and ascend once you have done all the easy stuff. And I'm not saying that you need to go get plastic surgery. I'm just simply stating that this is what is going to move the needle the most. And plastic surgery can also serve to detriment, as people want to do so much, get these crazy procedures done, and then just look botched. And then once you look like you've had plastic surgery, it's over for you. You're not gonna, like, no one's gonna want to be with someone who looks like they've had plastic surgery. So if you're gonna go the route of surgery, I just encourage that you really know what you're doing. You don't do any dramatic procedures, and you do little procedures that stack up and compound over time. But surgery is probably the most meaningful thing that you can do for your looks after you do the basic. So that's why it's going in S tier. Next up, we've got shoe lifts or elevator shoes. And this is going to go into A tier. The reason it's going to go into A tier, it's because it's going to be one of those instant things that you can do right away to add a few inches of height, because we all know that height definitely helps with attractiveness. It's not gonna be the difference, or I guess it could be the difference maker. It's not gonna improve the way you look, but it definitely is gonna help you get a few points. It's gonna help you have more presence when you enter the room. There's even been studies where every inch that you have above 6 inches correlates to about $1,000 extra average salary. So that just shows that being taller definitely does get you better treatment and respect. I've never used these, but I have heard of people who do use these and they get caught, and then that's kind of over for you. So if you use these, make sure you don't get caught. And I also heard that it can mess up your posture. I haven't really looked into that. So that's just something else that you could be mindful of. But one of the quickest, fastest things that you can do that is going to make a difference, just don't get caught. And another thing is, it's not very practical. It depends what your goal is with looks maxing, but if you're just doing it to get girls and you get a girl and then you're 6 feet with shoe lifts on and then you take off your shoes and you're 5'9", she's going to know that something's up. So just make sure you don't get, it's not super practical, you could say, but I guess if you're going out to the bars and you just want a bit more presence, then it could be a good thing to do. And it's so that's why I'm putting in A tier. Next up is going to be sleep. Sleep is going to go straight into S tier. Sleep is one of the actually I'm going to put sleep into B tier, because everyone should be getting adequate sleep, but is it necessarily going to make the biggest difference when it comes to your look? Yes, it will help a lot, especially if you're in a developmental phase. It's gonna increase your hormones, allow you to develop better. When you get a better night's sleep, you're gonna be less bloated. You're gonna have your under eye circles aren't gonna be as prevalent. You're just going to look a lot more healthy, which is going to affect your looks, but not necessarily a massive amount. So that's why I'm putting in B tier, but everyone should be getting their sleep. It's the best thing it's one of the best things that you can do for your health. And if you're not getting a good amount of sleep, then that's an easy thing that you should fix right away. Next up is facial exercises. So these are going to be things like thumb pulling, like those jaw exercises, eye exercises, any of like the squinting stuff, any of those sort of things is going to be facial exercises. And this is going to go straight into F tier. I don't know what people think that they're going to achieve from these, but this is just complete cope, and it's so people can sell you other courses and all this stuff, and people just want to put in no work, spend no money, so then they come to these sort of things and expect differences when really they're just wasting time or even detrimenting themselves in some cases. So do not do any of these stupid facial exercises where you're squinting. It's not going to give you hunter eyes. Just stop coping. Stop doing that. Next thing we're going to talk about is charisma. And I guess we'll just say this in the context of getting girls and having a better quality of life and getting respect, and because that's going to correlate to your looks. So how much is this going to benefit your looks, and add on to that? I'm going to put this in C tier for that. People make the first impression in under 2 seconds, and so the first impression and what they think about you is going to be based on your looks, and that's just a harsh reality. It's part of society, and it's just something that we have to deal with. It sucks, but it's just part of reality. And charisma, after that, obviously it can help you, but I believe that the main thing is going to be looks. Charisma does play a big role, especially when you're in a friend group or in high school. But if you're just in a social setting, a bar, or you're going to a new job, it's going to help, but it's not going to be the biggest needle mover. And people who say that if you just want to get girls, you just need to have better game are stupid. They're just coping. They don't want to conform with reality. So that's why it's kind of in the middle. It's definitely something that plays a big role, but it's not gonna make or break your look. And charisma is also something that you're mainly born with. It can be trained, but it is mainly something that you're born with, and it's kind of brutal, but it's been proven in studies. So there's things that you can take, obviously, but it's going to be a lot of genetics. And yeah, so for that, it's going to be in C tier. All right, and I think that's going to be it for the video. If you stayed to the end, thanks again for tuning in. This is my second video, raw, uncut. So sorry if it was a little bit rough around the edges, but if you stayed to the end, please leave a comment. I really appreciate you. Hit subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to rate. I'm going to finish off this list in another part. If you want me to go more in depth in any of these, let me know if there's any content that you want to see. I'm going to be doing lots of different content on this channel. This is just one of the things I'm going to be doing. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the video. I want to hear your honest thoughts, and leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in.